I thought I was helping my girlfriend escape her toxic family. Turns out I was just her exit plan. Hi, everyone. This one's been sitting on my chest for a while. I never thought I'd be the guy writing one of these, but here we are. You ever meet someone and feel like the universe dropped them into your life at the exact right time? That was Lily for me. I'm 28. At the time, I was living in a small apartment just outside Denver, working remote as a UX designer. Quiet life, stable income, nothing too exciting. Then Lily walked into my life like a storm pretending to be a breeze. We met through friends at a rooftop party. She had this soft, reserved energy, like she didn't want to take up too much space, but you wanted to make room for her anyway. She smiled like it cost her something, and every time she laughed, it sounded like she didn't do it often enough. Something about her drew me in, not in a surface level, she's hot kind of way, though she was beautiful, but more like I wanted to protect her, and I think she knew that. Our first few dates were sweet. She was thoughtful, attentive, but also guarded. She always seemed like she was holding back, not because she didn't trust me, but like she'd been trained to expect disappointment. I didn't push. Eventually, the stories started to come out, slowly, carefully. She told me about her parents, controlling, manipulative, borderline abusive. Her mom who used religion like a weapon. Her dad who barely spoke unless it was to criticize. And her younger brother, the golden child, who could do no wrong while she was blamed for everything. She told me she hadn't lived outside their house since college, that she'd had a few short-term relationships, but they all ended badly, usually because the guys couldn't handle the drama. I told her I wasn't them. I promised I was different, and maybe that was my first mistake. Over the months, we got closer. She started spending more nights at my place. She'd show up after fights with her mom, red-eyed and shaking, sometimes without even calling. I'd hold her, let her sleep, order takeout and let her choose the movie, even when it was the third rewatch of 10 Things I Hate About You. She told me I made her feel safe, that she hadn't felt that in years. I believed her. So when she said she wanted to move in just temporarily until she figured things out, I said yes without hesitation. I even helped her pack. We filled trash bags with old clothes and loaded boxes into the trunk of my car while she kept glancing over her shoulder like someone might catch her mid-escape. I remember her crying as we pulled out of her parents' driveway for what she said would be the last time. I told her, "It's okay. You're safe now. I got you." She just nodded, said she loved me, said thank you. And I believed that too. But looking back now, that wasn't love. That was relief. And I wasn't her partner. I was just the getaway car. The first few weeks after Lily moved in felt perfect. She was sweet, grateful, even overly affectionate. She cooked dinner almost every night, left little notes on my desk when I was working late, curled up next to me on the couch like she couldn't believe she was finally allowed to rest. She called our apartment a sanctuary. I called it home. I felt like I was doing something good, like I was part of her healing. I kept telling myself that all she needed was time, space, and someone who actually gave a damn, and I was proud to be that someone. But somewhere around month 2, things started to shift. Subtle at first. She stopped saying thank you, stopped helping out. Dishes piled up in the sink. She'd forget to buy groceries when it was her turn. She'd sleep in late, then complain she was overwhelmed and needed to recenter. I understood. Trauma doesn't vanish overnight. So I adjusted, took on more, picked up the slack, because that's what you do for someone you love, right? Then came the spending. She'd never had access to her own money before, she told me. Her parents controlled every dollar. So when I offered to add her to my Venmo card for shared expenses, I thought I was empowering her, helping her rebuild some independence. But suddenly, there were daily charges from coffee shops, online boutiques, crystal stores, and a skincare subscription box I'd never even heard of. I said nothing at first. She was just adjusting. Maybe treating herself was part of the healing. But when I finally brought it up, gently, her reaction wasn't what I expected. She got quiet, then cold, said I was starting to sound like her father, that she couldn't believe I'd turn on her like that she thought I was different. And let me tell you, that hit like a punch to the gut. Because the whole time, I was the one staying up late doing her laundry. I was the one researching therapist for her. I was the one covering rent when she said she was still waiting for her last paycheck, which, now that I think about it, never actually arrived. But I apologized. I told her I didn't mean to make her feel controlled. I just wanted us to be okay. She nodded slowly, said she forgave me, and then didn't speak to me for 2 days. It felt like being locked out of my own house with the key still in my hand. And yet, I still didn't walk away, because I kept thinking, she's been through so much, she just needs time. I told myself love was patient, love was selfless, love was showing up when it wasn't easy. But here's the part they never tell you. Love shouldn't feel like emotional blackmail. Weeks turned into months. My friend stopped coming over, said it felt weird being around her. She never said hi, never asked questions, just floated around the apartment like it was a hotel and everyone else was staff. She stopped working altogether, said her job was toxic and she was finally choosing peace. I told her I supported her, but inside, I was drowning. The apartment was messier, the air heavier. She barely touched me anymore, said she wasn't in the right headspace for intimacy, that she needed to focus inward. And still, I waited, supported, believed, because I still thought I was helping her escape something terrible. I just didn't realize yet I was the one trapped now. At some point, I stopped recognizing the person I was in the mirror. There were dark circles under my eyes that hadn't been there before. My desk was cluttered, the sink always full. My playlists were quieter now, no more upbeat morning music, just long stretches of silence broken only by the hum of the fridge and the occasional sigh I didn't even realize I was letting out. Lily, meanwhile, was glowing. She was posting again, long captions about healing, starting fresh, surrounding yourself with people who nurture your energy. Never mentioned me, not once. You'd think she lived alone, based on how she curated her life online. But I was still there, paying for the Wi-Fi that powered her posts. She started going out more, art classes, yoga, women's circles, always coming home late, always too tired to talk. One night, she came back around 1 a.m., reeking of sage and red wine, and when I asked if she was okay, she rolled her eyes and said, "Not everything is about you." That's when it hit me. It had never been about me. This wasn't two people building something. This was one person escaping something, and one person being used as a landing pad. But I still wasn't ready to fully admit it. Until one Sunday afternoon, when she went out for her solo walk, I opened the drawer in our bedroom looking for my passport. It wasn't there. Instead, I found a journal. Heron. I wish I could say I didn't mean to read it, but I did. I absolutely did. And no, I don't feel guilty. Not anymore. The entries weren't what I expected. They weren't about healing, or trauma, or recovery. They were about me, and how she didn't love me, how she never did, how she felt safe, yes, but not attracted, how I was a useful transition. Her words, not mine. She called me placeholder energy. She wrote about how she needed someone soft to help her reset, someone who wouldn't challenge her, someone easy. She wrote that she was grateful. I helped her leave her parents, but that she couldn't wait to be free from this stage of life too. That was the moment I felt something inside me snap. It wasn't just the betrayal, it was the realization that I'd spent nearly a year believing I was saving someone, when really I was just the emotional equivalent of a U-Haul, a bridge between two chapters of her life. And once she crossed it, she was already looking back, wondering how far she had to walk before it disappeared from her view entirely. I put the journal back where I found it, sat on the bed. And I didn't cry, I didn't yell, didn't break anything. I just sat there, feeling empty. And maybe that was the worst part of all, realizing that even my heartbreak had run out of energy. I didn't say anything when she came home that night. She dropped her shoes by the door, sighed dramatically like the world had been especially exhausting for her that day, and floated past me on the couch like I was just another lamp in the room. I watched her walk into the bedroom, into my bedroom, and I realized I wasn't even angry anymore. I was done, but I wasn't going to yell. I wasn't going to beg for acknowledgement. She didn't deserve a scene, because people like her. She started texting 2 days later. At first, it was confusion. Hey, are you okay? Then, I feel like we need to talk. Then, you're being really immature. And finally, wow, you're just like my dad. Classic. I didn't reply. Didn't block her. Just left the messages there, floating, unanswered, like all the conversations she'd walked away from without looking back. Weeks passed. I heard from mutual friends that she was telling people I ghosted her, that I ran away when things got too deep, that I couldn't handle a real woman. Let her talk, because the people who matter know the truth. And more importantly, I know the truth now. I wasn't her savior. I wasn't her partner. I was her escape plan. And now that she had escaped, she had no idea how to stand on her own. The funny thing is, I thought leaving would feel like failure. But it didn't. It felt like freedom, because sometimes the only way to win is to walk away before they realize you were the only thing holding the chaos together. Update. She couldn't let me leave quietly, so I made sure. She had nothing to hold on to. I thought walking away in silence would be enough. Turns out, for people like Lily, silence is provocation. They can't stand not being in control of the story. And the moment she realized I wasn't coming back, she snapped. 2 weeks after I moved out, she showed up at my office. Yeah, my actual workplace. She came in looking polished, calm, like someone who was about to have a mature conversation. She asked the front desk for me, said it was urgent. They texted me. I ignored it. So she waited 45 minutes. Eventually, I walked past her without saying a word. She followed me outside, pretending to keep her cool, but her voice cracked when she said, "Can we just talk?" She didn't want closure. She wanted control, said I had embarrassed her, said people were asking questions, said I left her with nothing. And the way she said the last part, with nothing, like I'd stolen from her, that's when it all clicked. She didn't miss me. She missed the benefits. She missed the stability, the car rides, the food, the safety net. So I gave her one final answer. I calmly told her I'd been patient, that I'd let her keep everything I paid for, the apartment, the furniture, the things I could have taken but didn't. And if she wanted to play games now, fine. But I could end that too. The utilities, in my name, gone. The Wi-Fi, canceled. The rent? I let the landlord know I was no longer financially responsible. And the cat, my name on the adoption papers. I picked him up the next day. By the end of the week, she was exactly where she claimed to be months ago, at rock bottom. The difference this time? There was no one left to pull her out. No texts came after that. No fake apologies, no guilt tripping. Just silence. The same kind I gave her when I left. Only now, it wasn't me drowning in it. It was her. Final update. I didn't win. I just walked away with my soul intact. Hey again. Last one from me. I wasn't planning on coming back with another update, but a few of you reached out with questions, and to be honest, writing this has helped me more than I expected. So here we go. One final reflection to close the chapter. Do you ever regret helping her in the first place? Number one, I regret how long I ignored the signs. I regret thinking I could fix someone who never wanted to grow. But I don't regret helping her leave her family. That was her path to walk, just not with me. Sometimes being the stepping stone doesn't make you weak, it makes you necessary. Was it worth it to take everything back? It wasn't revenge, it was balance. She built a life using my resources, my trust, and my time, and then wanted to rewrite history like none of it mattered. I didn't destroy her world, I just removed the parts of it that weren't hers to begin with. Have you moved on? I'm getting there. I'm not dating yet. Not because I'm bitter, but because I'm rebuilding. And honestly, it feels good. I sleep better, I eat better. I started painting again, something I gave up years ago. I laugh more now. Real laughter, not the kind you force to keep someone else from unraveling. That's progress, I think. Did she ever try to come back? And if she did, I wouldn't open the door. Not out of hate, but because I've finally built something she doesn't fit inside. And here's the part I want to leave you with. Not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. Some people are just storms. They pass through, break things, and leave. But when the dust settles, you realize the foundation they cracked wasn't strong to begin with. Now I'm rebuilding that foundation, brick by brick. This time, for me, no more savior complexes. No more fixing people who only see you as a solution. If you're reading this and you feel like you're the one giving everything while getting breadcrumbs in return, listen closely. You're not selfish for walking away. You're just finally choosing yourself. And that's not the end of the story. That's the beginning. Take care.